What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Independent Waters. I'm back. Zach Batista, you're back.
Always happy to be here, Mikey.
Oh, yeah. And we got some killer matches for you this week. I'm very excited to start off. But before we start, Zach, what's been up? How you doing, bud?
I've been doing good lately. AEW's been really good. Not show-wise, it's been just fantastic TV. Been dealing with, just everything going on in the world lately. Working, the usual. But wrestling is just a nice thing to have these days. It's like a nice pick-me-up when things get you down.
Wrestling is indeed a nice thing to have. Oh, and by the way, for those who are listening, I am Mikey Van Freddy. Joining me, as always, is Zach Batista. That intro didn't do it justice as well as it should have, but here we are. Back for episode number 3 of Independent Waters, getting through this these crazy times with wrestling and getting through that independent sea of matches, and I'm very excited to discover some more.
Oh, I can't wait. I've got a gem today that I'm really proud to show off if anyone hasn't heard of it.
Well, we are both pretty excited to jump right into it, so why don't we?
Yeah.
Who needs the small talk? Let's get right into it. I went first last week.
Yes, you did.
So, Zach, why don't you kick us off with your first match that you watched this week?
For this, do I want to start with the gem or do I want to start with the other match?
Start with the other match.
Let's start with the other match.
Build it up.
All right. The first match that I'm going to talk about today was... So, after last week with us doing a women's match, I decided I wanted to see some more tag team action on the independent scene as, the Young Bucks are so famous in AEW today, and there's so many tag teams in AEW that were just great indie tag wrestlers. So I was like, all right, let's see what I can find. So what I ended up going with was the Sumerian Death Squad versus the Bucky Boys at ICW for their tag titles.
2 very good names.
Yes, they are very good names. The Sumerian Death Squad consists of, if I recall correctly, it is Michael Dante and Tommy End, and the Bucky Boys composed of Stevie Boy and Davey Boy.
The Bucky Boys sounds like someone forgot what the Young Bucks were called, and we're like, yeah, those Bucky Boys over on AEW, right?
Yeah. Oh my god. So the best way I can describe the Bucky Boys is... You know that the meme where anyone ever says, like, the Slav, where, like, it's a bunch of guys in Adidas tracksuits?
Yeah.
It's basically that where they have Adidas sweatpants, and they just have no shirt on.
Incredible.
And the Sumerian Death Squad composed of just 2 guys in, I believe, this black trunks. They're kind of tatted up a bit.
Okay.
So, the announcers, thank you again, announcers, you do make the match so much more fun with me when you give me context.
Always.
I learned from the announcers that the Sumerian Death Squad were actually the outside team, as the Bucky Boys were the champions in this match, and they were coming in to try to take their titles.
Interesting.
So, as I'm getting ready and the crowd's all warmed up, this is a British, I believe it is a UK wrestling scene, so the crowd, of course, is lively as ever.
Oh yeah.
The match is about to start, and this little guy comes walking up. He's about to do an introduction, and then bam! One of the Sumerian Death Squad just kick him in the face, knock him down.
Good start.
Just to start. And they start beating the crap out of the tag champs. There's a brawl to the outside with each one fighting. If I recall correctly, it was Michael Dante and I want to say it was Davey Boy because he's the bigger one of the 2. We're fighting on on one side of the ring, which is the camera was on. On the other side of the ring, it was Dante and it was Tommy End and Stevie Boy were fighting on the other side of the ring.
Okay.
Point of note here that was kind of funny was that you could hear what was happening on the other side because there's a point where the 2 of them started chopping each other, and it was just like, you could hear the chops. And it was really hot start. I was like, wow, that is... So, eventually, they roll the face back into the ring, and the heel team does the usual shtick that heels do, which is grinding down the faces, doing as much as they can to get, as much pain as their opponent as they can. At one point... I think it was Tommy N, mouthed off to Davey Boy, who's the bigger one of the 2, I think I already said. And the ref, stopped him because he went to go in, and they started just beating up the Stevie Boy, who I haven't mentioned, is the more lightweight of the team. He's the high flyer of the team.
Okay.
So this went on for a while, and I'm not the biggest fan of, grinding down, but hey, it gets you all hot because when the hot tag came, the room came alive, man. I'm telling you, it exploded. Everyone was so happy that he got in. I actually got really excited from it, too. I was like, let's go.
Let's go.
It was great. Davey Boy just came in like a fucking a train of bricks, basically. just knocking the other two down. High spot. Stevie Boy did a fantastic-looking Hurricane Rana, if I believe, and then a suicide dive. Eventually, I believe the heels took back over again. Tommy N in particular stood out for me because this man's strikes were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had some nasty kicks. There was a point where Davey Boy threw him into the corner. He then ran into him and gave him like a running like elbow. And then as he went running back to the corner, Tommy N ran at him, and they kind of did that back and forth a bit, with Tommy N finishing with like a killer knee.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, if I recall correctly, yes, now I remember. Stevie Boy came in, I think, right after that, and he gave Tommy N, you know the thing where like they pick the person up and they like spin them all the way around with a tornado DDT?
Yeah.
Think of that, but the smoothest transition to the DDT ever. Like, he literally like spun all the way around. I forgot which one he did it on, and it was just the smoothest looking thing in the world.
It was like a tornado DDT, like a super tornado
yes.
DDT.
Like, it was like, if you had like opened a book for wrestling, it's like, this is a tornado DDT. And that would be like in the book of how smooth they did this.
It was a hurricane DDT because it
yes.
was so extreme.
Exactly. I was a little disappointed with the crowd, though, because they weren't as into it as I was hoping. But granted, I think Riptide has spoiled me entirely on British crowds, because Riptide crowds are just above and beyond.
I believe Riptide is Australian, if I'm not mistaken.
You are right, actually. Yes, now I think so. I'm not sure, actually. I haven't looked as much into Riptide. Oh my god. So then there was let me see. Oh, so the finish for this one was actually kind of odd. So let me break this down for you. I believe it's Michael Dante's in the ring. He's like this bigger looking dude.
Okay.
And he's currently fighting down Davey Boy, who's the bigger guy. He's like, I think if I recall correctly, Stevie just took out Tommy End with like a probably a suicide dive or something like that. And he's in the ring. And as I believe it is Michael Dante hits his finisher, the little dude who got kicked in the face before just pulls his leg out and stops the pin. As I then learned, this was this is one of the two managers of the Bucky boys.
Okay.
Right in front of the ref, and I was so confused as to why the ref didn't do anything about that. But then as just to add on to that, as Michael Dante went out to argue with this guy, Stevie Boy came running up and hit him in the face with a weapon, and Davey Boy rolled him up and won. Right in front of the ref, too.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh, we're just not going to do DQs here, apparently. That's just... wow.
We're just not happening today.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, man. And then the end was a bit like, okay, well, I was kind of hoping that would keep going a bit more, but it's fine. It was a short little match. Here's the interesting bit. So I decided to look into the Sumerian Death Squad and the Bucky Boys because something seemed a bit familiar. Because during the match, one of the Tommy End, the guy I was talking to before with the strikes, did what I thought looked like a black mass. I look it up, and guess what? This is Aleister Black before he joined WWE.
Yeah, Tommy End, baby.
I was so surprised. I was like, wait, what? And I went back and I actually rewatched the match, and I saw so much. It was cool to see like a prototype version of Aleister Black hitting like some of his signature moves that he does in WWE today.
Yeah, I bet that was sick. I love when you go back and watch a match and don't realize at first who it is,
mm-hmm.
and then you look up and you're like, oh, it's that guy. That happened to me when I was watching All Out.
Oh.
And Matt Sydal came in to the Battle Royal, and I was like, oh, I like this Matt Sydal guy. He's really cool. He botched, but like otherwise he's really cool. And then I was looking on Twitter, and they're like, damn, how did Evan Bourne botch his shooting star press? I was like, oh, that's who he is?
I
recognize him with the long hair and the beard.
I'm not going to lie, you just revealed to me that was Evan Bourne, too. I didn't know that was Evan Bourne until just
now.
Yeah,
Matt Sydal was Evan Bourne in WWE. But he has long hair and a beard now, so I didn't recognize him.
No wonder they said he had such a good shooting star press on Being the Elite.
Yeah.
Like, dang, wow. But to wrap this up a bit, I gave this a meh because it wasn't anything like too special. It was like a good match overall. Just like good transition, good wrestling. Fine. The ending was a bit weird.
Okay.
I would say if you really want to like see pre-Aleister Black, look at this match or like look at anything he did with the Sumerian Death Squad by himself as Tommy End.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll probably find a good amount of like entertainment out of it. I did. I wasn't bored in the match. It just didn't it just didn't blow me away as I was kind of hoping it would.
That's fair.
But off of my little bit of a downer ending there, let's see what you've got left. What have you got up there? I'm looking to
earlier you did mention we've been getting into women's wrestling lately, and
Yes,
I have
we have.
another women's match for us to get into, and I brought from Progress Wrestling an event called Revolution 8 for the Progress Women's title. We have the champion, Toni Storm.
Let's go. I love Toni Storm.
Taking on Wesna, who is a German-Croatian wrestler who wrestles in Germany a lot, but she goes around Japan, America, UK. But she got her start in Germany.
Okay.
She's big. She's like a she's a brawler kind of. This looks like it's gonna be a fight.
Nice.
And it is. This match is like it starts off actually with some really good technical wrestling. With Storm and Wesna putting each other into different holds. Storm getting a lot of reversals. Storm is actually in control a lot of this beginning of the match. When it's in the ring, when it's like wrestling. Like Storm is firmly in control. She's got it. She's reversing anything Wesna's throwing at her. She's getting her holds in, and then it goes to the outside. And that is when Wesna firmly takes control when she tosses Storm into arm first into the ring post, right into the turnbuckle, and she starts taking control out there and just starts beating Storm down. She keeps resetting the count on the outside, so she keeps just absolutely. It just becomes a fight out there. And Wesna, I never heard of her before this, but I am already scared of Wesna because Wesna's strikes look like they could break me in half. Like,
they're just like hammers, basically.
Yeah, she is brutal. She beats the life out of people, man. She's stomping away, punching. Like, she looks like she could easily break me in half, and it's terrifying, but it's great because it makes for a great match.
Awesome, just a great heel that you want to see get beat.
Exactly. It made for that great like heel underdog dynamic. Because at first it feels like Toni Storm's like, the cocky. She feels like, I got this. I'm the champion. It's fine. I'm the best. And then she kind of underestimated Wesna a bit. And then Wesna got into her fight mode, and Toni kind of was like, oh man, okay, whew, time to go.
Kind of kicking it overdrive, I guess.
Yeah. So these two, once that happens from the outside, that's when the real match starts, and these two just start kicking the crap out of each other, throwing reversals at each other left and right, hitting each other with everything they got. There's a point where Toni Storm hits Wesna with a Storm Zero on the apron.
Ooh.
But then Wesna kicks out. I know, it's wild. And Toni kicks, I think Toni ended up kicking out a Wesna's finisher at one point. It's just wild. This match was really good. But in the end, Toni Storm did end up beating Wesna and keep retaining her Progress Women's Championship, winning the match. This match was great. I think this was a great show for Toni Storm and Wesna because it made Wesna look like this monster, this beast, who was just absolutely wrecking Toni Storm toward the middle of the match. And then it made Toni Storm look like this awesome underdog who came back and won the match, even though she was a champion, which is hard to do when you're the champion, is to still somehow be the underdog.
Yeah.
But I really like this match. It was like a 20-minute match, and I still wish it was longer. Like,
wow,
this match was good. I wish these two would have fought a little while longer because this match could have been. I mean, this match was sick, but it could have been even sicker. You know?
That's how you know that the match is good when when it finishes. You're like, no, keep going.
No, keep fighting. I want to keep watching this. I really like this match. I am gonna give it. I think I'm gonna give it a mark out.
Let's go.
I like it a lot. I'm gonna give my first match a mark out because I really enjoyed it. I popped a few times. I really like Toni Storm in this match. I really like Wesna in this match, and it was a great show for the title. So stakes don't get much bigger.
Feeding off that nice energy of a nice mark out, I'm going to now go into my second match, which was going off.
You seem excited for this one. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to talk about this. So, going off of the women's wrestling that we did last week, I wanted to find something that I don't ever see basically in any mainstream promotion, which is intergender wrestling, actually. I think it can be...
Intergender matches are one of, the low-key gems of just independent wrestling in general. Like, if you find a good on Indy 500. I reviewed intergender matches all the time because it was just like, oh my god,
Yeah,
they're so much fun. They're so much fun.
Like I don't usually ever see it. Like the closest I got to it was in talking about mainstream. I saw WWE. It was Ronda Rousey and Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie, which is the closest I had gotten to it. And I think I've seen like a couple stuff on NXT, not matches, but like spots. And I was like, all right, I'm like, intergender wrestling I know is a thing on the indie scene because I've seen Candice LeRae take some nasty hits from me on some of those matches. So.
Candice LeRae is actually one of like the big pioneers of intergender wrestling in wrestling in general, and she had some of the greatest matches.
Yeah, so I'm definitely be looking to her. But on this day in particular, I decided to pick Orange Cassidy versus Kylie Ray at Beyond Wrestling for the Intercontinental Television title. So,
yes, the independent wrestling title.
I know about Orange Cassidy. If you watch AEW, then you definitely know about Orange Cassidy. Kylie Ray, however, was someone that, while I was sad that she was gone from AEW, I'm happy that she's happy where she is now. But she was one of the people that when AEW first showed up, I really had my eye. I was like, wow, she's really good. I can't wait to see what else she does. And I don't watch Impact as much, so I don't see it as much.
The image burned in my brain of Kylie Ray in AEW was when Britt Baker super kicked her, and she her head went back and her bow fell off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just Britt Baker super kicking Kylie Ray's bow off was one of my favorite images of AEW, still to this day.
Oh, it's great. So, starting into this match, it starts with Orange Cassidy, like the most Orange Cassidy ever. It's just looking at Kylie Ray and going like, you wanna? And her like realizing he's asking her, you want a shot for my title? So Kylie Ray does her usual spiel of being the happiest thing in the world, completely accepts it, it gets announced. So the match starts with the two of them kind of doing the usual thing. Kylie Ray's like playing to the crowd, being like chanting with everyone. Like Orange Cassidy's got his hands in his pocket with his sunglasses on, just staring at her.
Of course.
But yet in this moment, you can just feel this tension between the two of them. Like they both know this is an actual match, but they aren't really acting on it. Like there's a point where like Kylie hugs him, and then he hugs her back, and then as he turns around, she tries to roll him up.
Yes, I remember that.
And then right after that, she shakes his hand. No, I know. I think if I recall correctly, he does something with her where she he puts his glasses on her face. And she turns around, she's all happy, and he tries rolling her up. And it's from this point on that the tension kind of just keeps growing between the two of them. Because they then decide they're going to shake hands. And the two of them then do the thing where both wrestlers try to pull each other to throw the other one to the corner at the same time. And at this point, you can see that both of them on their faces are like, oh no, this is a match. We're really going at it. Like for instance, like Orange Cassidy then is like, he goes Super Saiyan basically, which is putting his hands in his pockets. Mm-hmm. And then Kylie Ray tries to shake his hand again and pull him again, and he stops her again. Mm-hmm. So at this point then, the offense breaks out with Kylie Ray like knocking Orange to his feet. She tries to cover him. It doesn't work. Orange Cassidy then does his patented sloth style of just laying on the ground and rolling, but not actually getting up when she starts running over him.
I remember that. She just bounces off the ropes.
And then eventually she sits down,
frogging over him as she's just laying there.
Exactly. And eventually she stops. She's like, oh, hey. And then she lays down next to him, and the two of them just stare at each other for a second. So then the two of them get up, and they have a spot that I wasn't expecting to pop for and be hyped for, but they had a thumb war.
Yes.
I saw this, and I was like, I don't know why I'm so excited to see what this is about to happen, but I'm all for it. If you've ever seen a thumb war, you've never seen one like this. The way they sold everything in that thumb war was incredible. It was amazing. They were twisting each other's arms. They had at one point where Kylie had her thumb on top of Orange's. He was acting like he was in the worst submission ever. Same with her and vice versa. No. Neither one of them ever, never broke the thumb hold either, so it was just what? This is my life right now. I'm watching two people thumb war in wrestling and getting excited over it. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know what I would have liked to see? Whenever they had their thumb down, I would have liked to see the ref just be like, 1, 2.
Yeah, that would have been funny. I would have liked that a lot, actually. Oh, so moving on to Cassidy eventually gets the edge and breaks up the thumb war, only for her... He then, after he breaks up this thumb war, I'm pretty sure, he lets his hand go and he puts her in a headlock and throws her over. He gives her a thumbs up and says, if I recall correctly, he's like, you deserve a thumbs up, I'm pretty sure. And then Kylie just jumps and, kind of is like a code breaker to his arm. And at this point then, the match, like this is where, like, the match, like, where I said before the tension, like, they're like, this is a real match. This is where, like, it goes to an actual wrestling match. Mm-hmm. Kylie is working Orange's arm, and a little fun note here for her character is she starts asking the ref if he's okay as she works his arm over, which is just amazing.
Classic.
Love it. I think she started cheering for Orange at one point, too, like, getting a chant started for him.
Nice.
And then eventually Orange gets the upper hand on her, and he starts working over her back. And let's see, that includes like a series of backbreakers, and then surprisingly, from Orange Cassidy of all people, submissions. He had her in like a camel clutch. He had a modified one where like he like had his knees to her back, and he pulled her head back as she was laying flat on the ground. And let me just say this: Kylie was selling this probably some of the best selling I've ever seen. She sounded like she was in such pain here that there was a point when Cassidy like whipped her into the ropes as hard as he could, and she hit it and fell down and started breathing. I actually thought she was hurt for a second because of how well she was selling this, which is just, I was like, oh my god, I'm like, this is a match, let's go. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, this is amazing. I never expected this. I was like so confused but so hyped for it at the same time. He then started working over her leg too, like he did like a dragon screw. He like, there was at one point where like he pulled her knee brace down and he like kicked it like with the heel of his foot. Like, really just, like, nasty stuff for her. And she was, of course, selling this like it was the worst thing in the world. If I recall correctly, she, like, throws him to the outside, does, like, a suicide dive to him. They exchange a bit more grapples. There's actually a point in the match where, as I said, they were exchanging grapples. She throws Orange Cassidy into the turnbuckle, and he's exhausted at this point, right? She runs over to him, and Orange Cassidy just falls forward. But because she's selling her leg so well, she actually hobbles over, trips over him, and falls into the turnbuckle. I thought that was amazing. I was like, that was like on the levels of like when Neville, back when he was Neville in Raw on WWE, sold the Red Arrow when his leg was hurt, where he fell out off the top rope and looked like he legitimately hurt himself.
Jeez.
So now, as I've gushed over this enough, but like, we'll now go to the finishing sequence. So she pulls Orange Cassidy, if I recall correctly. All right, who does this? Oh my god. If I recall correctly, Kylie Rae pulls Orange Cassidy out and does this it's either Orange Cassidy or Kylie Rae. They do this amazing-looking Blue Thunder Bomb, followed by... Oh, it is Cassidy, because Cassidy gets to the top rope, and he, like, kind of... You know that thing where he, like, flops onto the person?
Yeah.
He did that.
Where he says he's going to do a 450.
And then he just falls forward. Yeah. He did that. She kicked out. Orange Cassidy went for some orange juice after this, and the two of them had this tug-of-war for it, which ended in Cassidy getting the orange juice and then Kylie Rae pulling off this amazing super kick, followed by 2 power bombs, which she tries pinning him, and then as I'm waiting for the 3rd power bomb, she freaking Canadian destroyers him. Absolutely blew my mind. Followed by...
Kylie Rae is insane.
Incredible wrestling by 2 of them. I have to note, one thing I haven't said is that they were so smooth in this match. Every sequence just looked great. Oh my god.
Would you say they were schmoovin'?
Exactly. They were schmoovin' and groovin'.
They were schmoovin'.
Oh my god. The finishing sequence is actually pretty clever in the sense that, like, so the two of them are having like a roll-up thing, right? Where like, they have like a couple cool roll-up spots that I can't do it justice because I've never really seen a roll-up spots like the one that started this out. But the finish comes when Kylie does a crucifix to Orange, right? And he kicks out. She then tries to do it again, and you know that thing where Orange, like, he puts his leg forward, he puts both his opponent's arms behind their back, and then he pins them when their shoulders are pinned? Like
the mousetrap.
Yes, the mousetrap. He does that to her, and he catches her, and he wins. And the two end with...
That's one of his finishing moves.
Really? Mm-hmm. The announcers never sold it, so I never actually knew. All I know is the orange punch, and that's about all I know. Actually,
yeah. In the indies, I don't think he had the orange punch in the indies. It wasn't one of his signatures. He would do it, but it wasn't like one of his signature moves. His signature move or his finisher move was the mousetrap pin, which is
one more thing I did forget to mention is that Kylie Rae had a bunch of submissions here where like she turned a bunch of like a Hurricane Rana, I think, into a crossface. She did that a lot to Orange, and Orange sold it so well. I went over Kylie selling it, but like, God, Orange sounded like he was in such pain if she had him in this. Mm-hmm. But to wrap this up with a nice little bow, see what I did there? The two of them ended with a nice handshake. Kylie was still hobbling. This match gets an easy mark out for me.
Yeah, this match is so
amazing.
This match is one of the matches that we were talking about last week, where it's like walking the line between comedy and like wrestling.
Exactly.
And this is one of the matches that does it really, really well.
It
makes you laugh. It makes you hype. It brings you all over the spectrum of emotion. This match,
laughing my ass off to the thumb war to this. Oh, exactly. Laughing my ass off to the thumb war to literally thinking Kylie Ray is having trouble breathing. This match is a treat. You should watch this. If you're a fan of Orange Cassidy, you will love this. And if you're like me and you like Kylie Ray, you will also love this. It's amazing. You go out of your way and watch this, guys. It's a real treasure to find. And it's on YouTube, too, if you look it up.
Woo! I love free matches. Free matches on YouTube are the best ones.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they are. I think my last one was...
Toni Storm versus Wesna, by the way, was also free on YouTube.
I believe my first match is also free on YouTube. Let me look. Yes, it is free on YouTube.
Fantastic. So all of the matches we talked about so far, you can go watch for yourself for free on YouTube.
Exactly.
Go check them out.
All right. Hit me with it.
All right, well, my next match is right off of the YouTube channel of the Body Guy, All Ego, the Karate Man, Ethan Page. This match is Ethan Page taking on Johnny Gargano at Alpha One Wrestling for the Alpha Male Championship.
I've never heard of this promotion before, which is the best.
Me neither. Alpha One Wrestling was a new one for me. But this match looked like it was from a long time ago. It got uploaded recently, but it was definitely from a long time ago.
Yeah.
You can go if you want to watch this match. You can go find it on Ethan Page's YouTube channel. He uploaded it himself.
Oh, that's nice of him. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe the Death Squad match I had before was also like a long time ago. It was like 2013 or something like that. They just uploaded it as like their big thing to as their archive to get you to buy their network, if I recall correctly. But anywho, enough about the other matches. Get me on to this alpha male title match.
So this alpha male title match is between Ethan Page and Johnny Gargano, and of course, Ethan Page comes out with his manager being an absolute dickwad. Of course, he's being the uber heel, and I expected nothing less from All Ego himself. And Gargano, playing the babyface. The babyface who's gonna win this championship off of the heel.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of this match is a stereotypical wrestling match. Like, it's two guys hitting each other with holds, hitting each other with big slams. It's like if you think about wrestling, this is it.
Okay.
There's a lot of them taunting each other. There's a lot of them yelling at each other. There's one point where I think Gargano literally, Ethan Page is taking a breather because they just had a sequence or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Gargano goes, Ethan, I just want to let you know, I'm gonna break your arm. And then that prompts Ethan to be like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna go stretch outside. I have 10 seconds down the side of the ring, so I'm gonna go do that.
I love it. Oh my god.
These two just fight each other. It's a good wrestling match. It's a one-on-one fight. There's one really particular sequence that I liked a lot where Ethan Page hits his finisher called the headshot.
Okay.
Which is how Gargano does the spear through the ropes?
Yeah.
It's almost like the same thing, the way Page goes through the ropes, except instead of a spear, he does a cutter or an RKO kind of thing.
That's cool.
So it's called the headshot. So he does that, and then he does that, and then he gets up. Johnny pops up, hits him with a super kick while Ethan's on his knees, and then Ethan Page gets up, hits Johnny Gargano with a roundhouse, to which Gargano responds with another super kick to Ethan Page, to which Ethan Page responds with a huge enziguri.
Oh my
god! And they just both knock each other the hell out. It was really cool.
Wow.
It was a neat sequence for sure. I really like this match. It's high hitting. It's hard hitting, high impact. I almost said high hitting, hard impact. Hard hitting, high impact. Lots of big beefy moves. A lot of slamming. A lot of punching. Stuff like that. It's not a crazy high flying. There's no crazy spots. It's there's some cool sequences here and there, but all in all, this is a wrestling match where two guys are just trying to hurt each other.
The classic.
Yeah. And this match ends when Johnny Gargano gets Page in the Gargano escape, but then Ethan Page's manager distracts the referee. While the referee is distracted, Page taps out, but the ref didn't see it. Johnny then lets go of Page to get the ref's attention, and when he does, Page hits Gargano with his finisher, gets the 1-2-3, and Page wins and retains his championship.
A tale as old as time.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. Tale as old as time. That's my issue with this match.
Oh, really?
It didn't feel special. It didn't feel like there was anything that really like there was that one cool sequence, but other than that, it didn't feel like there was anything that stood out to me as like, this is sick. It just felt like typical heel versus face match, you know? Like the face is wrestling and then the heel is doing his cheaty tactics, cowering on the outside sometimes, like sneaking in a win.
Yeah.
Like it felt just so textbook heel versus face match. You know,
it just didn't boundaries here. It's not going to.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't do anything for like it was a good match. Like it was good wrestling, but like it was just nothing special about it. There was no flair. There was no spark. It just felt like, all right, yeah, there's a wrestling match between two dudes.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but like I said, it was decent. It was fun. But because it didn't have that special something, I'm gonna have to give this match a meh. Because like two great wrestlers, two awesome performers. That this match just felt basic. Like it didn't feel like Ethan Page versus Johnny Gargano. It just felt like two guys fighting each other. You know?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know. I guess I just expected more out of these guys. Like they're both really good, and I kind of wish there was just more to this match, but it just was so basic and generic.
Oh well, at least the match itself. At least it wasn't a miss it.
Yeah. I don't say it was a miss it. Like if you want to go check it out, definitely go do that. If you like both of these guys, like it's definitely for sure go check it out. But it's just meh, like meh tops.
Well, going into that, why don't we talk about the match we decided to watch this week, the two of us?
So, as you guys know, that on this show, what we do is we both review two matches of our own, and we watch one match together. But this week, this one is special, because this match got recommended to us by one of the wrestlers in it. Gentleman Jervis himself tweeted at us, giving us this match to review against Kevin Martensen. I am very excited about this because I love Jervis, and I'm so excited that he gave us a match that he says he's very proud of and that he likes a lot, and that it's one of his favorite matches that he's been in.
Yeah, it is for the, if I recall correctly, the television title at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood,
which we are from now on calling CWFH because that's a mouthful.
Yeah, you've turned me on to Jervis quite a bit lately. So when I saw that he actually tweeted us, I was like, we
gotta, yeah, like he personally recommended this match for us to watch. So like, how could we say no? Exactly. We can't say no to Jervis. Of course we're gonna review it. Come on,
sweetest gentleman that ever lived.
Yeah, the world's sweetest man.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get right into it.
Yes.
I really like this match.
I enjoyed the match as well.
I liked how in the beginning everyone was underselling Jervis. The announcers were underselling Jervis. Martensen was underselling Jervis.
Oh, him going down the ring and being like, "This guy, come on."
Yeah. I like that because it was building. It was built for me. It was building up that that underdog. Like, oh yes. Man, now I want him to win really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was getting me in that zone, you know.
Exactly.
And then Martensen comes to the ring, of course, confused. He's like, "Why am I fighting this guy? Come on." Who Martensen, I would say, also did a great job in this match, just playing the heel.
Oh, absolutely.
He did wonderfully as well. The match. I just want to talk about how the match starts.
Oh
where
my God!
The bell rings. The bell rings, and immediately Jervis goes underneath the ring, and everyone's like, Whoa, what is he getting? Is he getting a weapon? Jervis? No. And then he pulls out a vase full of flowers that he gifts to the champion, Kevin Martensen.
I have to point out here.
It's like what?
Vase. It's like a pot. It's like a big pot of flowers that you see like sitting outside like a gate. It was so ridiculous and out of nowhere that I was just dying of laughter. I was like, what is this?
It was so good. It was so good. I thought it was so
hilarious. And then to go here is following this up. So Martensen looks at these flowers, and you hear Jervis go, "Well, they are for you." And he looks at them, and he eats the flowers.
He doesn't hit them out of his hand. He doesn't throw them. He doesn't like take them and stomp on them. No, he just eats them. He just bites right into the bouquet of flowers.
Jervis takes them, and then I forgot how it ends up happening. But Martensen gets the flowers back. He's like, "Hold on." He's like, "Put these in the ring." And this man's about to drop like an elbow on these flowers before Jervis accidentally crotches him on the ropes, trying to stop him.
Jervis like slips and like knocks him on knocks into the ropes and makes him fall.
It was.
I was hoping this match was just gonna be like Jervis just like accidentally fumbling himself into a win somehow, just by like accidentally just like hitting Martensen with moves over and over, which would have been hilarious. But what I got, I think, was better because Jervis showed how athletic he is.
Oh my god, smooth as hell. Both these guys, every
sequence. He was also schmoovin'.
Exactly. Oh my god, like I was really watching because this match. If you listened to our podcast last week, I was left yearning for more with Jervis after my match with him. This match gave me basically what I was looking for. I was like, yes, I'm like Jervis is showing his moves and he's doing a damn good job at it.
Yeah, and I just like how Martensen was also just shutting it down. He was like, everyone shut up. This guy's nothing. I'm still the champion. I'm gonna win. Everyone shut your mouths. Stop cheering for him.
Oh,
and just kept shutting him down at every turn.
Every turn. The crowds.
It was a great. He was playing a great heel, and Jervis was playing, of course, a great face. Because how could Jervis ever be a heel?
It's not possible.
Oh God, right? Like it's literally impossible.
It's just not unless you're talking about the dude that's the opposite of Jervis that he tags with. But
Purvis Rottenbelly.
Yes, Purvis Rottenbelly. Oh man, I will say one thing to note here: the crowd's way the crowd attitude towards performers really helped. Like when Jervis came in, it was like, this is just going back. When he came in, it was like smiles. He shook everyone's hand.
Of course.
Martensen comes in, the entire crowd turned their back to him and didn't say a word to him. It was.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like I've never seen a crowd do that. And if more crowds start doing that, I would love that.
I wish the crowd was more into it during the match, though. Because I feel like there was a lot of points where Jervis tried to hype up the crowd, and the crowd was just like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, there was points where he was, like, stomping his foot, trying to get him to be like...
Oh, yeah, dude, like, Jervis got stuck in, like,
thing.
He got stuck in, like, this nasty, like, butterfly submission where, like, Martensen had both his arms pulled back, and Jervis was dying here. He started stomping his leg like you see, like, Dustin Rhodes do on AEW, and the crowd just didn't react to it. And I was like, Jervis is dying out here.
He's trying his best.
And I'm like, I want him to win so bad.
I started clapping. I was sitting on the computer, and I was like... There was this one other funny part where Jervis was in a submission where there was, like, one of the flowers still just, like, lying in the ring, and he grabs it, and he just, like, gives it to the camera.
Oh, my God. Funnily enough, I actually went back to that spot to look. Martensen saw this flower on the ground, just sticks the rose between his teeth like he's like going to go like tango dancing, and then he just spits it out, and Jervis is just giving the flower before he just gets taken away. Oh, my God.
It's so good. This whole match is so good. I think both of the guys in this match did an awesome job.
A great job.
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it. Like there was like I said, there was like the big moments of wrestling, and then there was like the small comedy moments here and there, like the flowers. Jervis like trying to give the flower to the audience, him accidentally tripping and knocking Martensen off the top rope. I just thought it
was fun.
It was just fun. It was just a fun, enjoyable match. But I want to say that toward the end, that double stomp from Martensen. That was brutal. I looked away like that hit, and I was like, ooh.
To describe for the folks at home, he basically stuck Jervis between the top and middle rope, like kind of like in a package. He got up to the top, he jumped down, he mule kicked the top of Jervis's head as he came down.
Right on the back of his neck. Like that was rough.
It was the worst looking spot. A close second for that was when he threw Jervis into the turnbuckle, and Jervis went to go flip up. And I think he didn't get it entirely, and he just hit and fell. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, like that. They did it again, and he did it fine. But I was like, oh, that hurts. Oh, Jervis, no.
Yeah, dude, he took some bumps in this match.
I have to say, though, for me, even though he lost, it is a testament to Jervis's character that he made me really want him to win.
Yeah, same here.
I, like, the guy, like, he wasn't seen as in kayfabe for this event. Like, apparently he's just not seen as a threat, but, like, he did such a good job of just making you want to see him succeed.
Yeah, and again, not to take anything away from Kevin Martensen, who also did a fantastic job.
Great job as being a heel.
Absolutely knocked it out of the park.
I liked how
both people had a big part in this match. Jervin really made me want it. Jervis really played a part in making me want him to win. And Kevin Martensen really played a big part in making me want him to lose.
Exactly. Like, he was complete scumbag to Jervis. And it's like, how could you do this to this gentleman?
Yeah.
It was a little sad when he lost Chow. I remember going out loud and going like, damn. I was hoping I'd see Jervis pull out the win.
I was bummed to see Jervis not get the title in this one. By the way, Kevin Martensen wins with his signature submission hold, the Rat Trap.
Yes,
it's like a sharpshooter. It's like a modified sharpshooter called the Rat Trap.
Yeah, it was after that nasty spot where he stomped on the back of Jervis's head, if I recall correctly. Mm-hmm. This match, the best way I can put it is, while it did make me pop off as much as it did you, it did the next best thing for me, which is laugh. I was smiling and laughing the whole time of this match. I wasn't bored. I wasn't doing anything else. I had a great time with this match.
I do wish it was like one of those matches like earlier, like Toni Storm and Wesna. I just wish it was longer. Yeah, I wanted to see them fight more.
Yeah, I remember.
This match was only what, like 10 minutes? Like, I wanted more.
Like that, yeah, and we also had a commercial
fight
break,
forever.
So we didn't see the whole thing.
Damn.
I remember when he did the Rat Trap and he just tapped out. I was like, damn. I was like, that's it. I was like, I was hoping for a bit more.
Fight forever. Like, dang.
For me, I'll go first in my grading. I would give this a meh for me, because while it didn't make me go like, wow, this is just like cream of the crop. Like, I love this to bits. This match, I have to stress, this is not a bad match at all. This is a very fun match, and if you watch it, you will not be disappointed with it. What about you, though?
Listen, Zach, I gotta give it the mark out. I like it a lot. I'm a huge mark for Jervis. I love matches like this where it's like a little bit of comedy, a little bit of wrestling. Sure, it was a little short, and I would have liked more, and it would have been like super duper mark out if it was longer and they got more in. But I think it still breaks that line between that and mark out and gets to that mark out level for me.
So I have to say, if Jervis ends up watching this, thank you for recommending us this match.
Yes, you read my mind. I was actually literally about to say the same thing. Jervis, if you are listening to this, thank you for recommending this. We really appreciate it. We love you here at Hit the Books Network. You are always welcome. You are one of our favorites. Thank you so much. So after that, Zach, we have one more little segment here before we end the show.
Yes, we do.
We have the Double Down.
I love these segments.
So, the Double Down is when me and Zach take a quick flashback to last week and we watch one of each other's matches. I will be watching one of Zach's matches that he had. He will be watching one of my matches that I had. And Zach, you know what? Why don't you take it home first?
All right. So, the match that Mikey recommended to me was the Nick Gage versus Ultra Mantis Black in a Yuletide death match at the event known as Orange Cassidy's Doing Something, Who Knows, whatever. This match was, I will say, when the match got set up, this ring was literally filled with carnage. Like Mikey described, there was literally just barbed wire all over. There was like a board filled with light bulbs. I was just like, wow, this is going to probably suck for whoever goes through that. By the way, quick note here, I loved Orange Mantis' entrance so much because he basically looked like a Christmas cultist. And it was amazing.
Orange Mantis?
Oh my god. Ultra Mantis Black looked like a straight-up Christmas cultist, and I loved every bit of it.
The Christmas cultist.
Christmas cultist. I'm like, you just took Satan worship, but you combined it with Christmas.
He just has two full tattoo sleeves that are just Christmas themed, which is
and wild. It's not even like Nightmare on Elm Street Christmas sleeves. It's like a Nightmare Before Christmas. Christmas.
It's just like, Christmas. It's just
straight
Christmas.
up wholesome, like Santa Claus, like just everything.
It's great.
I loved it. So the match comes off. The Nick Gage is the champ, or a champ. I know that much because his manager came out with some like scalpel or something. And the belt himself. Since Mike already went over this, I'll go through the bits for me that stood out for me. There was a nasty spot in this match where Mantis got drop kicked fully into barbed wire, and he got tangled up with it. And I remember thinking to myself, "Oh God!"
Yeah, that one was rough.
Combined with the fact that then Gage put it on top of him and then stomped it into him, so he got tangled up, like legit, like his leg got caught up in it. And I was like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "No, this is so dangerous."
Yeah, that was wild.
The tacks that you mentioned before were nasty, especially
the red
after
and gold.
the fact.
Yeah,
They were literally in the middle of the ring, so like there were like a bunch of bumps that worked worse than they normally would. Like I think like Ultraman just took a
because they were
backdrop.
just spread out like
They were
everywhere.
everywhere. So like Mantis took like a backdrop, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh God, that went into attacks." I'm like, "God, that's bad." And I was like, "That's unfortunate." This was basically Mikey summed it up best. This is basically like if you're looking for just a nice death match, you can just sit there and chill out while two dudes kill each other with barbed wire. This is the match for you.
Yeah, it's one of those matches that's not. It's one of those death matches that's not too cringy to watch.
Yeah,
like
it's
I've
not
seen like when I say cringy, I don't mean like the internet cringy where it's like,
As in, like-
oh, I mean like you're gonna like there's some death matches where you're gonna look away because
It's like
violent.
the level of like why where you go to like why on earth would you ever do that to yourself?
Yeah, it's
Like,
violent.
it is violent. So I will say, as my rating, I gave it a meh just because it didn't blow me away as much as I wasn't sure exactly how it would go, but I'd give it a meh because like I enjoyed it, but like I feel like that the bar for death matches could be a bit higher.
Yeah, I agree.
Side note here, by the way, just like outside of the match,
I wish there was
great.
more. I wish there was more Christmas themed
That too,
death
yeah.
match stuff.
There
Because it was
the-
just like the board with the ornaments and then the tree, and that was
Yeah, and there wasn't like I was hoping like maybe you could have done like a Christmas colored kendo stick. Like you could do like a la WWE and like have like a bunch of Christmas boxes around the ring. with a
Yeah,
bunch
have
of
like
weapons in
Christmas
it.
presents with like
Like,
crazy
really-
weapons.
Like really just go all in with a type of match like this.
Like have like a Christmas present with like light tubes in it or something.
Exactly. Oh, that would be great actually. Also, you mentioned the ending, so I had to watch it till the end. MJF literally rolled in trying to ruin the good ending and then ate everyone's finisher and gave the crowd a better ending, which
Yeah.
whoever came up with that idea, my hat's off to you. That is a nice way of ending a pay-per-view with Orange Cassidy especially.
Very good.
But yeah, I give it a match just because like it's like it could have gone further. It could have been more, in my opinion, and like it didn't like make me
agree.
go as much. But it did give me what I wanted, which is a death match.
All right.
So now going off from that, I believe the match that I gave you to watch was Mike Bailey versus Walter at Riptide.
Yes. This match, I am obsessed with this match. This is one of my favorite. I think this has become one of my favorite wrestling matches just of all time, period. Like, this match is just so good. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of if you were like playing D&D, it reminds me of like a barbarian trying to fight a rogue. Like,
oh my god!
It feels like the
accurate.
big, heavy, like fighter or barbarian fighting just a rogue who's just like bouncing around with his high dexterity, just like doing
trying
whatever.
to like get a weakness from his opponent so he could chop
Exactly,
him down
exactly.
like get him. Oh my god, that's so true because Walter just that match. Yeah, you tell them. What did you think of the match?
I love this match. This match always makes me pop. This match, like I said last week, this match literally makes me cry. Like every time I watch it, I just get like I get teary eyed, I get misty eyed whenever I watch this match because it's just that damn good. It just makes you feel so much emotion for Mike Bailey. It makes you feel so much emotion for Walter. Just these two guys absolutely beating the crap out of each other to win this match. Like what they're willing to give to put on the line to just get a 1, 2, 3. There's not even a title on the line in this match. I don't think. Like it's just a match. Like these two just absolutely beat the crap out of each other, and it's just nutty. Like, I love this match so much. Like it's just always gonna be it's always gonna have a really close place in my heart. Also, I feel really bad for both of these guys' just chests because they were probably like concave.
Oh,
like,
dude,
after
once the match was over,
they just had like a hole in it.
Oh, they probably woke up next morning and were just like, sitting up.
They really woke up the next morning and had like a divot in their chest deep enough to eat cereal out of. Like
exactly, like Mike Bailey's got like a Walter handprint, and Walter's got like a Mike Bailey like just print in his chest.
Yeah, like these two probably just like were just like, yep, pour the cereal right in that hole in my chest and just eat breakfast right there. Like that's what it felt like. But just the end of this match too, where it's just Walter putting Mike Bailey in the sleeper and Mike just conking out like I'm like done. It just shows like how much they gave this match and how it just like how exhausted they both were and how it was just like as soon as Walter was able to get a little bit of pressure on that sleeper, Bailey was out. Like it was
done.
This match was absolutely phenomenal, and I love it to bits. Go watch it. Please go watch it if you can. I will never stop praising this match.
We're
on
marking
YouTube for free. Obviously, it's a mark out because I'm literally marking out on the podcast in front of you.
Watch this match.
Yeah, please watch this match. Dude, go see it. You owe it to yourself to watch this match.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, after that long rant about that awesome match, I think that brings us to the end of the podcast.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, until next week, right?
Until next week, yeah.
Yeah, so remember, tune in every Wednesday, get all the episodes every week, and go leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. That really helps us in the first weeks of a growing podcast. We're trying to get our feet off the ground here. It would really, really, really help. We would really appreciate it if you give us those 5 stars over on iTunes. And subscribe to the Hit the Books feed, where you will also find my other show, Hit the Books with Ryan Knightsey, where we book SmackDown and Raw every week, and we book pay-per-views. We just had our pay-per-view special for Hit Clash of Champions come out on Sunday, so go check that out when you can. Go check out our YouTube, where we post video versions of all of these podcasts that I'm telling you about right now, and go check out the website, htbpod.com, where you can find everything and anything you need to know about the Hit the Books Network and all the shows on it, including Independent Waters, including Hit the Books. So go check that out. Zach, anything to plug over there, bud?
Nothing, unfortunately. I'm not too big on social media. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here, to be honest.
I'm gonna keep asking you because 1 week you're gonna have something.
1 week I will. 1 week
soon you'll have something. But that brings us to the end. I've said all my plugs. I've plugged all the things. I mean, I guess go follow Hit the Books on Twitter at Hit the Books Pod, where you can go see all of our wrestling thoughts flow through our heads. So since that brings us to the end, the last thing I have to say, remember, there is a gigantic sea of independent wrestling out there.
And never stop exploring.